Honestly, becoming an adult is so stressful. There's so many bills to pay, there's so many responsibilities that are now on you. Oh, but you can't deny that there's nothing better than being able to say, I'm finally independent. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Scarcity Lifestyle. This is another video brought to you guys by... I don't have any sponsorships. I don't make any money from this. This is all fun because I enjoy just spreading some knowledge with you guys. I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos. If you guys have anything that you guys would like to learn in particular, but you can always leave it in the comments and I'll be able to reply there. However, today's topic is very particular. It's actually one that I entered to very recently. Maybe people think that I very recently became independent, but all I did is now I live by myself. That's no different. I've honestly been independent for a good while now. People don't realize that becoming independent is not just about gaining your own place to live. As a matter of fact, it's a fluid of many things. Just like how we said, living a quality life is not just one thing. It's a combination of many things, as well as becoming independent is a combination of many things. And today I want to give you 4 things to do in order for you to be on the right track to becoming financially and physically and emotionally independent from your parents. Does that sound great? Why don't you give a thumbs up to this video, subscribe if you haven't, and let's get right into this video. The first thing I want to talk about is, because I don't want to talk about the living by yourself. Everybody knows that. But the first thing that I want to talk about is creating a budget. Creating a budget is so crucial. It's so important in modern day because nowadays we are against everything when it comes to our money. We are at war with fast food. We're at war with the next video game that's coming out. We feel like we are being pulled. There's some pull towards us that makes us want to spend our money. However, being of an independent person, you have to learn to save. You have to learn to budget your stuff. And I'm going to be the first person to step up and say, I have a problem in spending money. I have a big problem and I do not know at times how bad it's gotten. Sometimes I've gotten fast food multiple times in a week, and that's a lot of money. Maybe the first times you're like, whatever, it's like $10. It's like $5. It's not a lot, but then that starts piling up, and I can say that I could have had so much money if I just ate at the house instead of going out at a fast food restaurant at McDonald's and ate. And that's my fault. I have people tell me that what I'm doing is probably wrong. That I should probably make sure that I cut back on the fast food. But I don't. But see, when you make your budget, when you start managing your finances, you start to realize how much money you could possibly be saving. You start learning about investments. You start learning about retirement accounts. You start learning about index funds. Once you start managing your budget, for example, when I first started managing my budget, my monthly was around around 1,200, which doesn't seem like much because it wasn't, but for me that was a lot. When I started managing that, well, it started getting a little bit better. And truth be told, once you learn to manage something small, undoubtedly you'll learn to manage something a little bit bigger. And that is a cause and event. There is a law of diminishing returns. Whenever you start learning to manage something little by little, you start gaining more money. You start gaining more. You start becoming more responsible. So that's something that you have to do. If you want to go ahead and be more independent, you have to start managing a budget. The second thing that you have to do to become independent is set goals for yourself. Maybe, whoa! Can I help you with something? I'm editing Carlos. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, yeah. How can you be certain that setting goals will help you become more independent, and how can you be certain that you will achieve them? Honestly, a very good question. I'm gonna answer that, but can you leave? Okay, great. So that was a great question from editing Carlos. But how can we even make sure, even be certain that goals do have a significance in our life? Here's the truth. Goals have honestly been factually studied that they have a remarkable impact in the way we shape our lives. Know this, Whenever you think of something, hey, when you set your mind to it and you have a determination, you will achieve it. Let me give you this recommendation. I recommend that you get this book, Think and Grow Rich. Here in this book, it not only tells you that you can change your mind and you'll change your life. It says think and grow rich. It doesn't mean that if you just change your thought, you'll grow. No, it means that you'll set yourself up for the right stuff. Setting goals is calling what is invisible to the visible, is what is called getting what is not happened and calling it as it is. That is what setting goals is. And whenever someone sets goals, it is determined for them. Not only will you see a drastic change in your attitude, but also in your life. The book Max Your Life Out by Ed Mylett, he says the following: you have a mental filter that can work with you or against you. And now you don't want that to work against you, you want it to work for you. Having a scarcity mindset is, although you have been, you don't have everything, you will be growing, you will gain more. So when you change your thoughts, you will change your life. So you have to set goals for yourself. Even if you don't think that you're able to, don't underestimate yourself. Bill Gates says a lot of people overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in 10 years. Third thing is you gotta plan a schedule. Now my family knows that this is a big thing for me, because whenever I get invited to something last minute, it's almost always a no. Unless you're super important and I really need to be there and it's a responsibility, that's an exception. But whenever it's like, hey, you want to come out to this, you want to go do that, I'm very hesitant. I really don't like last minute things. It really bothers me. And it's not that, oh, you didn't think about me. It's so much, I like to be a planner. I have a schedule. I have a notebook in where I write all my things and where I want to do. Say, for example, I have something to do later on in the day, or maybe I have something that I have to do probably in about a week. What I start doing is that I just write it down. I have a calendar. Now, I'm someone who is not the sharpest when it comes to memory. I'm pretty forgetful at times, and I can admit that. But I don't like to be invited to something last minute. If I got invited to something, hey, if you remind me, I will remember. But if it's something last minute, I just don't. You guys have to understand that planning and having a schedule on a day-to-day basis and organizing your stuff and having people value your time is part of becoming independent. Once you become independent, people are going to be like, wow, okay, you're more responsible. This guy has a schedule. This guy knows what his time is worth, because I know they have a schedule. And that is what you try to portray once you set a schedule. Once you tell people, we're going to have this meeting from this time to this time. We're going to talk from this time to this time. I have about 30 minutes free time. It might sound like super uptight, but truthfully, it will make you more responsible. And once you figure out your time, you'll be able to see what free time you have to be able to do other activities. Final thing that you have to do before you are fully independent, you have to gain emotional independence. Now, you can move out of your parents' room. You can move out of what is your parents' credit card. You can get your own place. You can do all that other stuff. But if you still can't make decisions without consulting your family, well, it's going to be a very difficult time for you. You're not fully independent. You're still attached to them in a way. Now, we're never going to apart from our parents. That's a fact. You have to learn to make decisions for yourself, in the sense that you cannot go, obviously you got to consult, but sometimes you just have to make the decision. It's like now or never. You have to take a risk. So most of the time, the people that we have around us, well, they'll tell us to, go slow, and life is full of risks, and they'll tell you, no, you gotta be this, you gotta be that. But once you gain emotional independence, it's that now you're calm, you're steady, and it's not something that you could do from one day to another. It actually takes a little bit of time. It honestly requires you to break out of that bubble, which is your parents. For example, I don't want to be political, but in this political debate, a lot of times what I'm seeing is that this tribal mentality, that we all think alike, that we all have to be the same. But honestly, everybody is different. Everybody has different values. So you start looking at what is it that you value. You start thinking for yourself. That's why a lot of people, maybe they might not always agree with their parents. Maybe they might not always agree with what the other people, their friends are saying. And it's nothing bad. It's just that you have to get to know yourself. Is that you have to learn to make decisions for yourself. You can't always just expect somebody else to do it for you. You have to start. So guys, that is the fourth thing that you have to do before you're fully independent from your parents. So guys, I hope you liked today's video. We are just getting started with all these videos, with all these tips and all these tricks. I hope you guys are enjoying them. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see next, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that. And as a final announcement, I started a gaming channel. Now, truthfully, all of these videos on YouTube that I'm making is just for fun. It's just a little fun thing I'm doing right now. I'm not getting paid by this, and it's no doubt. It's not like I'm a big anything. I'm not getting paid for these, but I am having fun making them. So I want to keep making as many as I can. So I made a second channel where I would be doing that, all about tech and gaming. And if you guys are interested in any of those two, guess what? My first video is already up. Go check it out. It's Scarcity Gaming, and you'll be able to find it in the description below. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. With that, I'll leave you guys, and I'll see you next time. Oh, it's recording. I have so many more coming out like this, and tomorrow